Shout out to everybody. Check. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Check. Just want to make sure we're rocking and rolling here. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Shout out to everybody here on the live. I can't see myself, but I'm here. Let me see if I can get myself activated here and get it going. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I have no idea what's happening. Always some type of business going on over here. Let's take a look if we can get myself in there. Activated, get it going. For some reason, they decided not to show me. Let me see here what's happening. Maybe we got pulled out. I don't know what's going down here on the live. Maybe it's a live without my face. Insane. We have no idea what's going on. But shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's take a look at what's happening here in the charts. The camera just decided not to come in today. It's connected the same way. It's doing the same stuff. Just decided something else is wrong. I am sharing the space with one of my friends, a workspace. Maybe a wire got pulled out. Something going on. Pretty weird. I added another thing here. Let me see what's going on, but I don't know what's going on. We can either reset or just keep going. It's up to you guys. You let me know. What a day to be alive. Always something here in crypto land. You know, I don't know why. It's just not showing on the. It just refuses to show the camera. I have no idea why. I don't know what's going on. Might need a reset. Have no clue. I started the computer. We're ready to go, but it really doesn't matter. I could do the chat. I could do the stream without you seeing me. It really doesn't matter. But God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. People want me to reset. They want to keep going. It is what it is. It's really about the charts, so we have no idea. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. The camera just today decides it's not going to do its thing. Let's take a look here. I see my camera connection. We'll toggle it. We'll just toggle it. We'll toggle it. We'll see if that helps. No, on and off, man. Sometimes it's all you need to do is a little on and off, and you're in there. Another thing could be the USB connection. Solid. Everything seems solid. I toggled it. Let me see if I can get it going one more time. So sorry. This is like the worst thing in my life right now. Bang. I'm there. I see myself. I see a camera. So we're good to go. I'm going to be able to get this thing up and running. Just give me a second here to, for whatever reason, the other camera decided to play games. We got it. Hey, an in and out sometimes is all you need, right? This one should be there too. All right, whatever. I'll just move myself on down and we'll do it this way here. The getaway real fast, but we'll get it done. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. So sorry for that mishap. It happens, but you got to keep working through it. Hope you're having a wonderful day out there. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Have no idea why this happened. I do the same thing every single day, but hey, you never know. I think maybe a wire just got shifted, maybe when we were moving spaces around here. Let me just get this right and tight. So sorry to waste your time, and then we'll get right into the stream. This has to be made bigger, but then you have to kind of chew little pieces off the side to make it fit right. There we go. It may not be perfect today. We'll do the best we can here to get it going, and then we get into the show. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Today's a very strange day. Something just feels weird about today. I can't place it. I don't really understand why, but something about today is a little weird. It just feels funny, so it makes sense that something odd happened to the stream today, because right off the bat, even the morning, started off feeling a little weird. I actually was slow to update, too. I didn't see much in the charts. It was kind of just a nothing burger on the day so far. So we'll see what happens here for Bitcoin. Getting a little bit of a dip to the downside here, 113,000. Not the best. So we'll break that down for you, too, as well. I'll reposition myself here, see how we can kind of get this going. All right. There we go. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's get that music back up and running, and let's get it going. But dang, man, on such a day, when we're getting anyway, let's break it down. Let's see what's happening to BTC. The bot right here. I got a bot that trades all day and long for you. In and out, sells the top, buys the bottom many times. it still believes that there's going to be some type of reversal here, a shoulder, head, right shoulder, that is the low. The bot is still staying in here, looking for that reversal. We talked about this being a possible bounce to the upside. The 4-hour did not get back above the 200 moving average. Major rejection there. We saw this 15-minute flag that needed to break out last night. Went sideways. We called this little move here. We got the pump, went sideways, break even, turned into a nothing burger. I turned off basically I went into the hospital yesterday because I got hit in the head about 2 weeks ago. I've been having some headaches. They gave me a CAT scan. Everything is fine. I'm okay. But they told me, hey, what do you do for a living? I said how much I use my brain. They said take a one night off, a couple mornings off, something if you can to rest your mind. So I took the doctor's orders last night. I did rest my mind. This morning I rested my mind. So this will be my first analysis today. Let's break it down. Usually I've done 2 by now, last night and this morning, but I needed to rest the brain here on this beautiful summer day. Let's take a look here on August 5th, 2025. Major resistance right here for Bitcoin at 109,000, which became support. All right, but then we just lost this $117,000 area, and now with this candle being bearish, it looks like another candle may be bearish. There's 2 scenarios. Your really bearish scenario is this is a shoulder, this is a head, there's a right shoulder getting made, and we actually go to the downside. Everyone else says we're going higher, there's bigger moves, boom, boom, boom. We pull back to $85,000, and everybody is in a state of complete shock. This is possible. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but we have to keep this on the radar. It's one of the possibilities. That's your most bearish scenario right off the bat. Bang, bang, bang. Your more bullish scenario is this rising wedge stays intact. You bounce sooner than later. You kind of have to bounce soon. If you don't, you lose this trend line. You lose this trend line, you go further to the downside. And it is what it is when you go further to the downside. So, hey, right, let me get a little less headroom there. There we go. And the door could be closed, which makes it look cooler. There you go. All right. So, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Also, my left ear, a little can't hear in it too well for whatever reason. So, I want to make sure that everything is correct. So crazy. Audio stopped working this morning. Everything kind of not, I'm starting to freak out. I'm like, are you hearing this? Are you guys hearing me? Am I alive? Am I actually online? Is this happening? Is this stream real? Am I even a person? Like, seriously, I don't even know, what's going on right now. Now, most people don't use their brain. Sam uses his brain so much it hinders him. Thanks for the honest vision, Sammy. Yeah. If we lose the 50 on the weekly, then the bull run is over. That's around 90K right now. You can't convince me that we move in QE. It's all bad. You can't convince me that as we move into QE, it's all bad. All bad? I don't know. Send out live for God bless. Shout out to Paul Wood. Shout out to everybody out here. Hey, it's whatever happens, happens. I take it one step at a time. Everyone wants to know what's going to happen. You got to be so open-minded. You have no clue, and you got to be able to manage whatever happens. See, the winner is the guy that can go through anything and make it. So, the losers are the people that know what's going to happen for sure and can't handle it when it doesn't. You can't tell yourself what's going to happen. That's just not how it works. So look at the weekly. Bearish div on my indicator. That tells us we're going to dump. And rising wedges break down 68% of the time. So if we just looked at the indicator, we didn't look at the sauce, we didn't read crypto Twitter, we didn't go quarter one and all this nonsense. This does look like it's going to bearishly retest, possibly make a right shoulder, and dump somewhere down here to $75,000, $86,000. I'm not saying this is guaranteed, but man, the Stokes are halfway there already. It looks like it could definitely happen. We would need some type of miracle here on the weekly to keep us from getting a bit of a dump. So that is not fun. It's not amazing. Bearish div on the 5-day chart. 5-day pointing to the downside. Also suggesting we get a beatdown. The 3-day, attempting that beautiful, beautiful dump. We got that tweezer bottom where the green candle and the red candle close together. Nada. Didn't give us anything. Now, in 2 days and 10 hours, this candle will close, and it's bearish. Man, it's starting to look like we may get a move further to the downside. I don't know. And then here we are on the daily. Daily did bottom, and we call that bottom reversal at about 112,000. We got the pump back to 116, but we got resistance on the 4-hour 200 moving average. We couldn't get back above that 4-hour 200. And now, this is kind of shoulder, head, and shoulder. You see that? I see a shoulder, a bit of a head, a right shoulder. I see a sloppy, drunken, hidden, inverted, head and shoulder there. Not inverted, but a sloppy, hidden head and shoulder. It looks pretty nasty to me. Look, there's a head and shoulder right there on the 12-hour. Shoulder, head, right shoulder to the downside. So I got to tell you, that looks like we may be going lower. Maybe we do liquidate the 108s. Maybe we go to 111. It's looking pretty nasty here for BTC. So right now, I don't know. I got to tell you, it doesn't look amazing. I would tell us to kind of chill pill. I wouldn't go too crazy on the altcoins right now. XRP looked good last night. Stellar Lumens looked good last night. But right now, they don't. You know, if Bitcoin doesn't play ball, nothing looks good to me. I don't play around with the altcoins when Bitcoin isn't where I want it to be. If Bitcoin's an indecision, if it's flip-flopping, I take a chill pill, right? You don't want to be going hard when you can't figure out what Bitcoin's doing. Just not a good look. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. People just keep falling off from crypto. I don't know if they fall off from the stream, fall off from crypto. It's crazy to see throughout the summer just the attention span for crypto just falling. The people that are staying in are the people that are going to see things that no one else thought possible. 7Xs, 20Xs, 100Xs, who knows? But there's going to be opportunity for whoever hangs out. I just know that fully. Everyone that's stuck into crypto long enough got so paid. It's just only a matter of time. Eventually, there's an opportunity there. I believe that. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as such, but I truly believe in crypto. But look, shoulder, head, that's a right shoulder. You have to start thinking that's going to dump. You're in the gap here on the VRVP, and 104,008 looks likely too. So once we lose 111, we get into the 107, 108s, and then down to 104. This looks bearish to me. That's a right shoulder. I'm just showing you what I'm showing you. People don't want to hear it. That looks bearish to me. That looks like it's going to dump. I've been pretty accurate in my trading career, so I don't know if that's going to dump for sure, but rejection by the 200. You had to get above that. We had to show some signs of movement. Nasty 4-hour candle. Nasty 1-hour candle, right? No love on the flag. Just blah, blah, blah. And look, this is a head and shoulder pattern too. So like the price action will tell you what it's going to do. Like it's screaming head and shoulders. Like it's showing you head and shoulders all across the board. If you decide to long this, I put out no longs this morning. I wasn't excited about price action. I didn't jump on in. Look, I'm scalping on the one like I usually do. Not a regular Tuesday, you know? Really not. Like lackluster. You can feel it. There's something strange about the volume today. It's just kind of quiet in the market. So it is what it is. We'll take a look at if there's any altcoins popping or anything else. There's a few little things out there. Everything's kind of waiting on what Bitcoin's doing. And August, in my opinion, has always been a slow month, a tough month for trading. And September, I say they're two of the hardest months. I've seen some of the most pain in August and September in my last 6 years of trading. 2019 was crazy. We had a huge pump all summer, and September wiped away the gains. Insanity. So look at this. I mean, I see a head and shoulder that just breached the neckline right here and is headed lower. So I just see a lot of bearishness today. Can this bullish divergence hold? That low right there, that's what we're looking for. So right now, you're looking for 112,008 to hold. Like that low right there, because then you made a lower low. If you take that low out, you're coming for a 111.8. And if you take that low out, you're dropping somewhere down here to 109,006. You can see that's your next big level of support. So if you're in a short, those would be key levels to take profits on. 111.8, 109,600 for Bitcoin. I mean, that looks ugly as heck to me. Make sense of that. It's just nonsense, right? It's just, no, bear. So sorry to wake up so bearish. I don't mean to be that way. If I'm bullish, I'm bullish. If I'm bearish, I'm bearish. I just take a look at what the charts are telling us. And if the charts look like we're going down, it looks like we're going down, you know? So that's what I see happening. Major resistance for Bitcoin right there. 115,500. Made a head and shoulder pattern. Rejected by the 4-hour 200 moving average. At 115,550, you know, right there. I mean, no go. And now you got a bearish engulfing candle on that 4-hour, and it's continuing to melt. This thing is plowing to the downside. This is a nasty dump right here. Again, a resistance by the 5-minute 200 moving average, and you made a bear flag. This is like key. Like that's the bear city. You don't make it above the 200 moving average, 21 crosses, and you make a bear flag. Pretty simple stuff to me. Why didn't I short it? I wasn't really, rested the brain. I wasn't going too hard on the market. I'm not into shorting until I see a confirmed downtrend for Bitcoin in the bigger time frames. I'm not into shorting it. Just not. It's not my thing. Well, because you'll see the biggest squeeze of your life and you'll get caught in it. And I just don't want to be caught in those squeezes, man. It's nasty. It can be crazy. So the 1-hour time frame, the only saving grace is we make some type of inverted head and shoulder here. This becomes the shoulder. This becomes the head. And we kind of get out of this. We break back above the 200 moving average on the 1. If not, it looks like there could be some lower moves. I kind of have to reset here and take a look. Price action's vicious today, right? The daily got rejected, no love. The weekly says it's going to dump and dump hard. So the weekly says the fun is over. You've been lied to. Everyone's telling you we're going higher. Everyone's telling you that there's a big bull market coming. But, I mean, the weekly has bearish div. Galaxy Digital just sold 80,000 Bitcoin on the low. 21's away from the 200 in a major way, and we have bearish divergence on the weekly. Every time I've seen that, it's been a top. There it was 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 a top. It's likely a top signal here for the time being, in my humble opinion. You know what I mean? Basically, I see your Hail Mary signal is you're going to bounce here and make some type of ascending triangle. But it's more likely that you're going lower to a 618 Fibonacci. Somewhere down here to about $108,000 Bitcoin. So I see a bigger pullback down to 108. Down to the 21-day moving average. Let the weekly reset. And then if you're lucky, you won't make the right shoulder that could take you down. You make the right shoulder here on a lower high, you've got to think you're going to make a lower low. That could be the end of the bull run right there. Right there. 115 may be the exit point. Somewhere in like October, November. It's getting to the point where we're about 18 months away from the halving. 12 to 18 months after the halving, you get a high in the market. So a lot of people are going to tell you where the market's going to be. The charts are going to tell you more than they are. And a lot of people aren't going to listen to the charts. They're going to listen to everybody else. So I hope you're watching the charts closely. I hope you're paying attention. And again, is that the end of the bull run if we pull back to 108? I'd say no. We'd have to take out 101,000 right there because that is an uptrend. But it will start to kind of slow us down, and you'd have to start consider where we stand. So this is a very tough market because we're in basically still kind of slight price discovery here for Bitcoin. And price discovery is one of the toughest places to be when it comes to any asset in the world because you just don't know exactly what's going to happen. You could continue to pump. You could kind of get a nasty pullback. So let me catch up with the chat. There's a lot coming in right now. Liquidation in these longs, man. I told Casper earlier. Sam, I felt this when I looked back at the charts this morning. Sad signs, but short term. I just buy Bitcoin now. I love the dumps. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Let's take a look at that fear and greed index. You'd think it would be lower, back into the 50s at least. It hasn't been 60 in a long time. Come back into the shader region. Let's get that dump down to 108. People will really get that fear. All right, look at this. Into it. Beautiful. Boom. Stop hunt. All right, altcoins are not doing good right now. You don't want to be rushing into altcoins, swing trading altcoins. Shorting them, I guess, is the look right now. So Bitcoin, what do I see happening for BTC? I got to remove everything and really look at this fresh. But, I mean, look at the 4 hour. Like, what is that? Never even seen something like in general. I guess technically you're in this bigger channel. You could head to the top of the channel. That would make sense. Bottom, top, bottom, still on your way back to the top of the channel. You're just kind of hanging out. Looks like a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder to me that couldn't get back above the resistance. So, like, I see a rolling over here on the bigger time frames. Could it still be a bull flag? It could. Do you have support there? You do. 111,750. But does this look good to me? No. Almost have to put this like this and say, okay. You left, you came back inside. It's just garbage. If anything, it looked like you got to almost be like, you were in this flag for sure. You broke out. Now you're falling off here. Like, that's the support and resistance line. Like, there ain't nothing there to that. Like, and then you were making your way back up. And what a nasty resistance. You're liquidating everybody that thought they longed that. This could possibly get worse here. This is ugly. This is ugly, man. So tough market, bear flag, technically, that broke to the downside. Then another bearish retest. 1 hour looks bad. I don't see I don't see any bullish sign here. I don't see any bounce. And price action just looks like complete garbage. Man, I wish I could say something different. This is nasty. Bearish retest, fall down. You can almost see, look, shoulder, head. See the right shoulder there? You'll see it on the smaller time frame. Wow. So a complete long liquidation going on right now. Just liquidating the longs, blowing from 114 all the way down to 112. Complete just, and again, if you trade my system and you know my system, and you trade the moving averages, when the 4 hour got resistance by the 200 moving average, bang, stop on the other side. Those are pretty good shorts, right? So where are we going? I mean, the measured move of the bear flag. That's it. Like, we're going down 108,375 to liquidate everybody that's sitting pretty at 108 or a double bottom at 111. This is just what's going to happen, folks. Like, read the charts. Don't, if you use your emotions, you're not going to be able to figure this market out. But if you look at the charts, they're going to tell you exactly what's happening. All right? That looks like you're going down to 108,300. I mean, look at it. I showed you the weekly's got bearish div. I showed you the 5-day, the 3-day. The big time frames say we're cooked. You do what you want. But like that's a bearish engulfing candle that we just had on the weekly. You see what I'm saying? Like, we closed Sunday night absolutely nasty. Like, it started great. We came back after the tweezer top. This was looking great. It was a fake out though. And now you're continuing your next week to the downside. I pulled the fib. So to me, I just don't see how you don't go back down to this fib at 107. Looks like 107,000 is coming. And it's coming for you. So you figure out what you want to do. But the charts, and I mean, I don't see how we don't fall at least down to 111 right now. Where is the stop? There's nothing holding us. Like, where is the support? A little bit right there, kind of. I don't see it. So at this point, you got to start looking for flags on the smaller time frame. Bear flags on the 5-minute, right? So just like you made a bear flag here. So you flip this upside down and you start looking, well, when you're bullish, right, you're going to make a flag like this. You're going to continue to dump. That looks like you'll continue to dump today. I see continuation down to 111,000. Crazy. And yes, BOOKMAP had the liquidity up there, but it disappeared too. Remember, we had it up. It still says, okay, it's bigger above us, but it's on either side. And you got 110,007. So I see liquidations today. I see them just messing completely, taking this market down. Also, some big sells by some big Ethereum sells too as well. So more tariff news coming back out this morning too, which puts fear back in the NASDAQ, right? You got inflation. It's tough, man. Bitcoin should be against inflation. How come when inflation goes up, why is Bitcoin struggling? A lot of stuff doesn't make sense right now, right? You know what I mean? The catalyst for Bitcoin pumping is inflation. Then why isn't Bitcoin taking this whole market by storm? What's happening right now? What are they doing, right? So this looks like we are going to be going lower. And if you want to trade this short, links in the description. All right, right here on the pinned comment, we got Weeks, we got BitTinex, we got BTC.C. All right, also MEXC. And again, they'll finally cut rates, but maybe at the last, when it just, maybe a little too late. You know what I'm saying? Like they needed to cut the rates a long time ago to keep the market afloat. They didn't. They basically put their foot on the market. Someone says we're going 150K, but expect volatility. I don't know where we're going. People think they know what's going to happen. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you what I've seen in the charts. So 88% chance they cut the rate. All right. So that's kind of set in stone. They're going to cut the rate. This thing has almost never been wrong. I've never seen it wrong. Maybe it has, but I've never personally seen it wrong. Every time they say they're going to cut the rates, they cut the rates. Every time they say they don't, they don't. Even moves forward to cutting more rates in October and possibly into December, but only time will tell. Shout out to my BitTinex warriors, everyone out there trading on BitTinex. Love my BitTinex scalping. It's awesome. Look at rejection by the 200 moving average on the 1 minute. We know we don't trade that. We only trade the bullish move above the 200 moving average. What a nasty dump that is today for BTC. Look at that. Demolishing the charts yet again. Anyone that thought they could hang. They got us back to 115.7. That was it. That was my sell. That was my sell there. Since then, I have not touched a scalpelino. Kept my peoples away from these charts. Look at that. I mean, it's cup and handle. It's head and shoulders everywhere. Like, that's a shoulder. There's a head. There's a shoulder there. Dump. This is crazy. And I even went to the smaller time frames, and it's hard to see what's happening. Even the bot believes it can stay long for whatever reason. So they got everybody hanging on by a string here. It's insane. Look at that spike back to the upside out of nowhere for Bitcoin. Is that sustainable? I mean, your only saving grace is if this turns into a giant inverted head and shoulder. Like, that's a shoulder. That turns into, we just V-shaped recovery right back to the upside. I was like, you was scared back to 115.8. I'm open-minded. Today's feeling like a false move Monday, no? What do you guys think? Today feels like a Monday, doesn't it? It doesn't feel like a Tuesday. Does this feel like a regular Tuesday to you? Fear is real. People too impatient. The 12K bot knows. The bot loves to trap itself. It gets trapped all the time. And then it gets itself out. So, yeah, it is trapped, but it does it on purpose. See, if you understand mitigation strategy, it'll get itself so trapped that just one move back up will get it to pump into the green, I think the bottom's macro and DCA average makes it to win over time, but not sure. 100%. Yeah, you got it. Volatility is great for the Minotaur bot. Yeah, it likes the dumps more than anything else. No sleep till Brooklyn. Fed is going to be cutting far too late. We definitely should get a nice last man's rally. But the reality is the U.S. economy isn't good. Yeah, it's because stocks dump. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ and the S&P here and see what's happening to the nasty Nas. NASDAQ actually doesn't look as bad, but it, again, overbought on the weekly like everything else. Like, we're high on these weeklies. The daily doesn't look too bad for the NASDAQ. We're just looking for consolidation. It could take a downward consolidation. Like, there's no guarantees how it's going to consolidate. Both of these look viable for me for a continuation, though, at one point. We're looking for that, so not too bad. Let's take a look at the S&P. S&P, a little bit of a dump, too, right? Yeah, there you go. I mean, you had a head and shoulder pattern on the 15 and just nasty sell-off there on the S&P. And again, it seems to be coming off tariff news. Again, like, we're back to threatening, Canada. It's back to the tariff news, back to the ups and downs. Shout out to everybody here at show number 1,717, man. Thank you so much for jumping on in. Sorry about the mishap with the camera this morning. Thank you for kicking it with the lifer. And be careful. I put $1,000 into this coin when it was down here. And I'm just still holding it. Like, I wouldn't go be, selling all my stuff and putting everything in things like, I mean, I hope it works out. But it's very high risk. This could go to zero. DJI 6930 could go to zero. Are you okay with losing everything you put in there? You see what I'm saying? I'm okay with it. I put $1,000 in. If it goes to zero, I'll be all right. It's now, I'm sitting on about $5,000, $6,000, right? We'll see what happens. But that's it. You know what I mean? Nothing too crazy. We looked at Nyla AI, nothing burger. We looked at that water coin, nothing burger. I looked at Snoop Frog, absolutely nothing burger out here. Actually, meme coin started struggling about a week ago, and they've been kind of back and forth ever since. So it hasn't been the meme coin day, baby. So yeah, more downside for Bitcoin. Look at this nat. It just literally bleeded out. It's just bleeding out. Like, oh, you didn't pay attention? Oh, you're taking the summer off? Oh, you want to go to the beach? Oh, you thought you could just not look at Bitcoin for the day? Oh, they're going to bleed it out behind your back. It always seems like it's when you're trying to hang out, when you're trying to relax. For me personally, I finally get a moment. I'm like, I tell myself, man, the cryptocurrency industry is vicious on the mind. You got to find ways to go for walks. You got to detach constantly. You got to detach to attach. It's weird, right? You have to constantly detach to stay involved. Because if you get too deep into it, man, it will shred your brain, right? All the ups and downs, all the volatility, it's just insanity. So look, that's a bear flag, likely to continue lower. I'm looking for $111,000 for Bitcoin. I could be wrong. Maybe they rip it right back to the upside. My strategy is right now on hold. I wait for us to get above the 200 moving average. Right now, you just flip the strategy the other way, and we're in a bullish uptrend. But if you flip it upside down, which means we're in a bearish downtrend, which means that the bear flags are more likely to play out than the bull flags, which means it's more likely to short than to long. I've been on vacation with my family for the last 2 months. Not vacation, but I take them away from my regular home. We're back in Florida next week. My daughter goes back to school. It's back to brass tacks, back to our Thursday night weekly live stream, and we're going to be more vicious. I probably will be shorting the market a lot more back. I'll be shorting and longing more than I just haven't, I don't want to be in a trade every 5 seconds. I've been in trading for 20 years. I'm 42 years old. This summer, it was time for me to be a dad, and I could have shorted and longed 100 times. I really just traded my models and took longs all summer long, and if I didn't see a long, I didn't take it, and that's how I traded. The old me used to go short and long. Like I would have shorted this last night. I would have been shorting, longing, shorting. I'll get back into it. I'm an old guy. All right, I have some of my old habits. I'll get back to shorting and long on the market. This it was smart of me, though. I really said, hey, Sam, trade one way, trade a little less, rest your brain, have a great summer, enjoy it with your family. I was still here every day. I never took a day off. We grinded throughout the entire summer. We made massive gains on a bunch of pumps. We caught a bunch of Bitcoin ups, which is insane. Called bottoms, got switches, flipped it, 84K. It was an amazing run, but did we top at 123? There's a chance. And nobody wants to say that. Nobody wants to talk about it. Everyone wants to say up only, 2025, 150K, 200K, all this crazy talk. Where's the reality out there? There's no reality out there. It's just whatever people want to say. I can't do that. I got to show you the charts. It hurts me to tell you the truth. I wish I could say, hey, let's long it all. Let's just pump everything to the upside, But right now, this is looking more like a bear flag than a bull flag. We need some type of inverted head and shoulder. This has to make a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. We got to save the day here somehow, some way on the smaller time frames, or it ain't nothing gonna happen. So right now, the bears are in control. As I've said many times, we got rejected by 114.5 at the 200 moving average right there on the 1 minute. That was it. And until we get back up off the 200, until these moving averages can join, I see us headed lower to 111,350 for Bitcoin. So my idea is to wait for the flag to fill, get into your short, stop loss somewhere above, maybe 113,650. You're going to have to figure that out for yourself. That's your own risk management strategy. And then boom, on to the next one. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here for BTC. That's the possibilities. That's what's going down. All right. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. You're jumping in. You want to know what's happening. Why is the market dumping? What's going on? You're here with the Crypto Lifer. And we find the daily bottom many, many times. I'm not seeing a daily bottom here today. There's a chance we're catching it right now. There's a little bit of bullish dip, but it was defied right there. We didn't get nothing. I don't really see a strong bullish divergence just yet. Trying to reverse right now off this bounce, but you got a little bit of strength at 112,500 maybe, 112.6. But it looks more likely like this may go sideways. You're looking, maybe it could make a shoulder, head, a right shoulder. If I see a head and a right shoulder, we got a chance of bouncing here off of 112,700. Good time to buy Bitcoin. I always buy a little more in the fear at 60 here, Wow. And look, head and shoulder to the downside. That's exactly where it was supposed to go. That's the neckline to the head. I didn't call this exactly. I kind of saw it as it happened somewhere right there. And then you can see that the measured move was here. But spot on. Look at that. It goes right to the measured move. Head and shoulder pattern. When you see a head and shoulder, I do not long head and shoulder patterns. Not a good look at all. It's not, it's like, oh yeah, let me take the probability against the best probability in the game. Not a good look. Shout out to Reliable J, sending 20 Crypto Lifer memberships out there on a tough day, man. God bless you. Bitcoin market will continue to drop all the way to the next Tuesday, 12th, when July CPI report is published. Yeah, TOKABU, pump, holding. Good call, Sam. Thank you. We'll take a look at TOKABU. Yeah, turn on, accept memberships. Amen. John needs love too. Shout out to John. Shout out to everyone. We can easily dump a lot more, but to call this top when the U.S. clearly act is going to pass soon and the report they just released seems stupid. More likely we dump in August and send again in Q4. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just telling you, this is how every top I've ever seen in the history of tops looks like. So if it's not a top, I'd be surprised. That's all. And if you did the math like me and you've seen as many assets and you've traded as long as me, you would say the same thing. I'm just going on the data, man. I'm not trying to, I'm the bearer of bear news, man. Right? I hate to be the bearer of bear news, but Thank you for the membership, Reliable J. Today is my birthday. What a timing. Hey, new game. You jumped on in. God bless you, man. Yeah. Somebody says, so let's take a look at what's been hot recently, right? Somebody said Troll is parabolic. I did find Troll. I think has it been, oh my God. So we looked at Troll here in this rising wedge. Looked like it could break out the flag. Wow, Troll was gone. Wow. You guys nailed it. Shout out to whoever gave us Troll earlier on the stream. I think it was Thursday or Wednesday last week. Dang, 180% gains for Troll. So when the market's not that crazy, we look for you people to give us the hotness. And you guys do. You really come through. Let's take a look at TOKABU too. TOKABU actually holding compared to the rest of the market. See that? And that could still break out. We put out TOKABU here, it pumped. TOKABU looking for more. It's got a use case connected to betting or something like that, right? TOKABU. So I would watch this closely. I don't have any. But man, compared to the rest of the market, TOKABU is definitely strong. TOKABU. So hey, it's not all bad in the market. Let's take a look here if there's anything kind of showing signs of strength here in the last hour against Bitcoin. Memcore, M, up 63% in 7 days. Okay. Tether Gold, XAUT, interesting. Tether has a gold coin now. PaxG Gold. We looked at gold last night. Gold looked bullish. Gold may be the play right now. It looks like it's forming a bull pennant, getting very, very tight. I like to see what I'm looking at for gold there. Tron, Story, OKB. Litecoin has had some big moves, 12% in the last 7 days. We'll take a look at Litecoin. Bitcoin Cash has also been holding its own pretty nicely. All right. Volta, which is a newer coin, all the way at 22 already, which is kind of crazy, right? Flare, Aptos, Cosmos, the forgotten coin, $4. Jeez Louise. Hyperliquid, Pancake Swap at 256. And man, these altcoins just, Chainlink back to 16. It's like a flogging holding these things. 163 for Solana. Like, how many times have we gone from 200 back down? Say to 28, like virtuals, like, man, it's like flogging yourself whenever you buy into any of these. People like, buy the dip, just keep buying the dip. I bought the dip so many times. I tell you what, man. I still somehow buy the dip a little bit, and I almost regret it every single dang time. I become more of a swing trader on these altcoins, man. It's been very tough to hold. You have to have, you can't care about money. You have to have been through the ringer like me so many times that you just don't care about money anymore. You have to release yourself from money and be free and just let it go. And somehow that's how you make the most money. When you just don't care about it anymore. I can't explain that. But when you finally release yourself from money, when you're just like, you know what? I'll live without it. It's not my legacy. My legacy is me. Where I go, who I know. Somehow then money begins to follow you. It's like when you don't care about money, it tries to get you again. When all you think about money, it runs from you. The law of detachment is key with money. Look at Troll up 77%. Really, you guys gave it to us on the stream, and it's the hottest coin in the game right now. Nothing's pumping but Troll. And this MYX coin, too, looks pretty interesting. MYX Finance just absolutely going up out of nowhere, too. There's always something going on in this market, man. Attempting some type of stoppage here and a bounce off 112.7. Nothing to write home about, but, some type of stoppage here. What was that? That was MYX, right? MyX Finance, geez Louise. Comes out August 3rd at 15 cents. The thing is $1.68. Does a 10x. Insanity. And just continue to rip. Like, how would we know? What the? I'm like, where's my team? Who missed this? But now it is slightly consolidating. Small time frame, like the daily. Yeah, that daily's too far from the 21-day moving average. So today it pumped on the daily. Look at that. Went from 39 cents in 1 day in 24 hours overnight last night. Wow. 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 Chasing it is crazy right now, but you never know the way it's set up. But I'd leave it alone, To me, it's outside of my risk management, but dang. I still play around with watching it and projecting because that thing could still move. Then there's going to be a nasty crash on that daily, right? How unsustainable is that? Wow, 259 though? Looks like it's going to probably take that lower high, make a double top and dump. the daily will reset back to the 21-day moving average. Let's take a look at the nasty NASDAQ. Lost the 200 moving average on the 1 minute as well, and then that's it. That's my signal for a short or a long. That's the long. That's the short signal when you lose the 200 moving average to the downside. It looks like it's making another flag to dump it even more, right? Look, now we're tapping the 15-minute 200 moving average on the NASDAQ. You lose that, you're going to drop, like you're going to go here to 30.23 and then all the way down to 22.98.7. So I am looking for consolidation on the NASDAQ on the bigger time frame. If you watch my macro technical analysis video, we looked at this weekly, and we're looking at for some consolidation here. So this just makes sense, maybe that down or that sideways. Nothing too crazy. This is kind of obvious to us. For me, you pump for weeks, shoulder kind of head right shoulder. You made a lower high. The moving averages are far apart. Like there's going to have to be, you can't just continue to go up forever. The money, they're printing the money though. Let's take a look at gold, PAX-G, however you want to look at it. We can actually trade gold here too. We'll look at it live on BTC.C. BTC.C is a great place to trade, okay? They've been around for 14 years, one of the longest Bitcoin exchanges in the game. So they never rug pulled. They're super, super, super awesome. They've been around a long time. Like if you're going to, feel confident about being on an exchange, 14 years. Really one of the first exchanges ever. That's why they're BTC.C, right? They're just the BTC exchange. So look at gold. Gold doing the complete opposite. Gold showing my signals now. So you can see gold was the thing to trade. It was touching the 21, above the 200. So Sam trades the 21 moving average above the 200. Very, very, over and over again. Same idea here now. Look at that. That was a signal right there. The flag touching the 21. So gold was the trade today. I said it last night, I believe. I said gold looks like it's going to be the trade. We may have to pivot to trading gold. And I wasn't joking around. I was dead serious. You know what I mean? Because I'll make gains on any asset I can. This actually would have been nice to pump up the portfolio here on this gold trade. Again, the doctors told me just take a morning and a night off if you can. Rest the mind. Give yourself some break. The headaches may subside. Give yourself a moment to rest the brain. I did that. I gave myself the longest time from the charts I've given in months, which means I didn't do an update at night and in the morning because I'm usually every 6 to 7 hours I'm on Bitcoin. And of course it dumps. Of course. Bitcoin attempting to try to hold its own here, but really struggling on the smaller time frames to get a move back to the upside. We're watching this flag on the 1 minute time frame. To me, it's more bearish than bullish. I see it making a bear flag and continuing lower. I see a dump down to 111,278 for Bitcoin. I see no reason to long. I see only really shorts here or just sitting tight and waiting for my long model. So I'm not shorting the market personally. I'll wait for my model. The model will show up tonight, tomorrow. We'll get a dump. Eventually, we'll cross that 200 moving average, even in a bit of a dump like that. And we'll get a bit of the model, and I'll be able to take advantage. So I just keep cruising for my same sausalito. Look at this. Possible double bottom here off 112. Some type of bullishness. Like we're trying to eventually stop the pain here. Stop the bleeding. You could say, is that an Adam and Eve? It's kind of got Adam and Eve vibes. There's your Adam, there's your Eve. Kind of is an Adam and Eve right there. Breaking to the upside. You got your measured move would be the length of the middle to that end of the cup there. Hey, signs of hope here for Bitcoin. Possible daily bottom, 112,007. Can we bounce? Looked more likely 2 days ago when I called the bounce. Now it's looking, we're struggling. We didn't get the follow through. Like Tuesday, we should have got the follow through from the bounce. Continuation. We didn't even get that. 30-second chart's going to run up to the 200 moving average if it's bullish. 5-second chart just got above the 200. So look, I know it's the 5, but this is how we start. And I can teach you how to trade the daily with the 5-second, the weekly with the 5-second. They all do the same sauce. They respect the sauce. So this is going to consolidate at one point here. You see? I don't know. It's the 5-second chart. Every 5 seconds, a new candle is going to be made. That means in basically 50, 60 seconds, we should be able to know what's going to happen here. 1 minute and 10 seconds, show us the sauce. Again, whenever you get it, so watch. This is how the weekly is. You pump, you get in a flag, you pump. You get away from the 21-day moving average. You come back to the 21. Watching price action evolve on the 5-second will teach you how price action evolves on the weekly, evolves on the daily. Nothing is different. Every time frame is the same. We live in this universal code of time frames that are all intertwined and connected. It's absolutely insane. It's fascinating. It's the most fascinating thing about technical analysis that I love. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I'm here doing this because I love it. You know, today isn't the greatest day to be out there. We didn't have massive gains. It's not Sammy Gains today, right? I'm still feeling great. I'm still believing in my God, and I still know that life is amazing. Look at that right shoulder. Look at the way they did that. It's how fat. Oh, my God. That's what's called a massive liquidation. I mean, that's bearish. You see 5-second charts, just, that thing just exploded down. Nasty dump just happened. Something in the news, a sell-off, I don't know, but that was just, whoa. You got a bearish div forming on the 15-minute, a bullish div forming on the 15-minute time frame, saying it's unsustainable. The sell-off is too heavy. The RSI was so heavy on the last sell-off. It's weird that we could get any lower. Remember when I went over the RSI? But hey, I guess, it doesn't mean a thing. But that 4-hour RSI was a heavy, heavy sell. Looks like this could be your daily bottom right here. I mean, there's a really strong bullish divvy there. You got the higher stochastics now on the 1-hour time frame. You're starting to wake up. Now, when we take a look here at Bitcoin on the 1-hour time frame, you can see it's starting to kind of struggle too as well. I mean, there's that bear, oh man. Like bear flagging. It attempted to try to do some type of magic, but I mean, I don't think so. Trouble in paradise for Bitcoin. 111,800. Looks like this may get worse here for BTC. Man, oh man. That's why you don't risk it all for the biscuit. Every trade should be somewhat a portion of the portfolio. Never go all in. Never. Always have something on the sidelines. It's about building each year. If you have more than you had the year before, you can compound more the next year. Every year you can compound more than you're moving forward. It's not everyone's like, why didn't I turn the 10 into 50,000? It's like, no, but did you turn 10 into 20? Now you have 20K. Well, now you have a bigger kitty. Now when you make 10%, it's $2,000, not just 10, not 1,000. Like now when you make 3%, right? It's $700 instead of just $300. Things start to change. Then you go after 1%, 3%. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is the idea of building anything in life. We start small. We make sure we can be consistent in the little things, and then we move forward. Eventually, somehow it gets big. This channel started very small. It's still pretty small as far as I'm concerned, but we're on our way to 100,000 subscribers. It's a big deal. Shout out to everyone that has subscribed to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. On our way to 100,000 subscribers, everyone. I greatly appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel. We have 1,700 beautiful souls. My name is Sam Price. If you're new to the channel, we have a bunch of new people here today coming in on the Google algorithm. They're seeing price dumping. They want to know what's happening. My name's Sam Price. I do run a trading group. You can go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Hit subscribe. You could join my Discord, right? I have a Discord like all those people. Oh, join my VIP. I don't call it a VIP Discord, which I think, why does everyone call it the same thing? But join my 99. It's the 99 trading group because it's $99 a month. The 99, baby. I was born on the 99th day of the year, the 9th day on the 99th day of the year. So the only 9. The only 9th day of the month of the 99th day of the year. So 99. It'll always be 999, the 9s, baby. She's a beauty, that number 9. So jump on in today, cryptolifer.com if you want to find out more. My name's Sam Price. I started buying and selling when I was like 21, 22 years old. You're talking looking at Apple and all these different things. Next thing you know, I decided, hey, maybe I could make it as a trader. Maybe I could make it. Maybe this is my calling. And I kept doing it. And next thing you know, I found gold and silver, started stacking it. Next thing I had so much gold and silver, what do I do with it? So I started trading gold. I moved on to trading gold, and then I figured out that, I started speculating in emerging technologies and new industries. And I saw the marijuana industry was likely going to go legal. some companies that were investing in it, and there was probably a way to get ahead and make some cake. I invested in Canopy Grow Corp and a few others, Aurora and stuff like that, and they hit pretty big. Canopy specifically was the bigger one that I went in on, and I got very lucky and hit hard. I then be able to move that into something else. Then I found Bitcoin, and the rest is kind of history. Started researching Bitcoin when it was $300. I knew what it was really at $1,000. I got into Litecoin at $5, Cardano at a penny, at 2 cents. I think was it 2 cents at 2 pennies, near a penny, and just made crazy calls in the last 8 years in crypto. Found cake when it was 60 cents. It rode to 44. Got into the ecosystems early. Found out what the automated market makers were for each chain. Studied DeFi, got heavy into DeFi, ran DeFi pools and farms, and did all sorts of crazy stuff for years, man. And then now I'm here. Now I'm back, never left, but it just feels like I'm back because it's been such a long road. And now I'm here trading. And I trade every single day, man. It's been 20 years now. I'm 42. My journey started at 22 when I said, hey, I'm going to start buying and selling these stocks on my phone or whatever. Or maybe even not on my phone, on like an E-Trade account. It was crazy. I don't know how I got this far. If you told me this was going to happen in my life, I was going to become a YouTuber, hit 100,000 subs, I never would have believed you 10 years ago, even 7 years ago. I started another channel, and then I started this channel, and I've been in YouTube and content creation for a long time. I have a degree in film. I worked for David Letterman, all right? I was making shows on Netflix for a long time. I worked for many different celebrities you may know, including Kevin James, Hassan Minaj, and more. And I lived in New York City working on television for about, almost 20 years of my life, 19 years. I got out of school, started working in film and commercials, and I kept going. And so that's my life. That's who I am. If you want to join more or find out more, keep coming back to the stream every single day. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. God bless you. This is my real voice. I enhance it a little bit for the show, but this is my voice. If you hang out with me, my voice is pretty similar to this. It's how I sound. So here, a bit of a double bottom here for Bitcoin. Attempting to save the day here. They get that pump, a lump, back to the upside. Again, it's all about, can the 5-second hold the 200 moving average? If it can, then the 30-second can. And then we go from there. If the 30-second can, then it's the 1. And I know this is crazy, but this is how it works. The first thing will happen is the 30-second will crack through this yellow line. Then the 1 minute will crack through the yellow line. Then the 5 minute will make it through its yellow line. Then the 15 minute will get back above its yellow line too. And we'll have ourselves what's called an inverted head and shoulder. And so our saving grace here is that Bitcoin finds some type of daily bottom. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. And we avoid this nasty bear flag and this horrible dump. At that point, I would look for a long. If we get it later on this afternoon, I would trade long on a Tuesday. So today's the day I would look for the reversal if we get it. And today's the day I would trade the reversal if we get it. Some days I see that and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to trade it. It's Saturday morning. So look, that's a bit of a double bottom, almost a triple bottom there in my humble opinion. And it does have legs. Let's see if we can get back to the 1 minute 200 moving average. Right now, the 30-second says it can pump up to the 200 moving average. Look for resistance there, though, at about 113,600. That would be our next place of resistance for Bitcoin. Almost a bit of a diamond, too. Let's take a look at how it resembles a diamond. She's a diamond in the rough there. She's a diamond, boy. So, it looks like it comes in from the bottom, could come out, comes in from the top, could come out from the top. The diamond, you know what I mean? But it has some diamond vibes. And so far, look at Bitcoin reversing on this crazy diamond back to the upside, double bottom here. Even if we don't call it today, like some days I don't call it. We just watch it happen. But that lets us watch it, figure out for what's going to happen the next time. You see what I'm saying? This isn't about being right every time here. This is us just learning together. We're watching the reversal together. If you watched 1,000 of these with me, you're going to know how the daily candles reverse, right? You're going to watch all different types of reversals. So being here is going to help you and teach you. It's not about being right all the time, and it's not about me always showing my money and showing my gains. I know, some people are like, oh, sometimes I just want to educate you and teach you. Sometimes showing the gains and all that, it's great, it's fun, but it gets people thinking, well, is this all this guy does, or is he here to teach? And when you kind of just don't show your money and you just teach, you let people know what you're about. You're about teaching. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And if you think about it, let's be real, as crazy as this is, transparency is awesome. Don't get me wrong.
Like knowing that I've made money as a trader and I continue to do so is a good sign. But if I lost tons of money trading last week and I went against my strategy and used emotions, but you still could have won using what I taught you, and vice versa. If I won all my trading strategy, but you used emotions and didn't listen. So my whole point is, whatever I win or lose, it really doesn't matter to you because you are still on your own journey of winning or losing too. And sometimes you may lose with me, sometimes you may win with me. It all depends. I like to win more than I lose, though, on my calls, right? If I say, hey, it's likely going to make a move to the upside. Today, we needed the 30-second chart. You really need the smaller charts to figure out what could be happening here for Bitcoin. Pretty sloppy. But as long as you can stay above the 5-second 200, then we go with a 30-second, and like I showed you, so on and so forth here. Okay, let me jump back into the chat and see what people are saying. I'm learning more and more from all the top online traders giving some game for free. God bless you, brother. Yep. Great job, Sam. Inspiring, brother. Keep up the amazing work. Shout out to Michael Prime. It's following stocks again, Sam. Stocks starting reversing. I like it. Hey, bro, could you take a look at the 1 and 2, please? At Total 1 and 2, always good morning. I will if you send in a super chat. Thanks for sharing your strategy. You gave it to me for free, and some others that can read between the charts. Hey, God bless you, brother. OMG, MYX is still printing. It looks like it may. I don't know what's going on with that thing. That's insane. That's crazy. I'm kind of tight I didn't get in on that. Dang. It looks like it may continue to pump. Like the way it's looking right now, that's a bull pennant. It's getting tight. I know the daily's looking, it's super high risk, but that thing may continue to moon. People just may not care. Let's take a look at the super chats. Reliable J sending 20 fan memberships, man. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Ask not what Sammy can do for you. Ask what you can do for Sammy. Go vote for him at the Influencer Awards. Please remember that all these awards aren't good fun. For the love of all, please don't take them too seriously. Oh, no, they're the most serious awards in the game. Seriously, man, come on. There's nothing bad. I mean, there's no other recognition award out there. So vote for me for Best Technical Analysis Crypto Lifer. We won last year. Can we take it again? All right. And then I'm up for one of the biggest awards in the game, Influencer of the Year. All right. The grandest of them all. Vote for Influencer of the Year. Hit it right there. Vote for the Lifer. And you can do the vote for the Golden Upvote, where you can write me in as well. So there's 3 places to vote for the Lifer. Vote for the Technical Analysis. Vote for the Golden Upvote. And go and vote for the Influencer of the Year. I'd greatly appreciate that, man. And I'll be, super, 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 super grateful for anything that happens, no matter what. And God bless everybody that's there. And all the sponsors that show up. Art Basel, Monarch, right? Moonwalker's Token, International Contempt, IFC, everybody that shows up and helps out. Rare Evo. Shout out to my man Adam Charles, Gypsy Gold, and everybody out there on the live. So please hit that up at the Web3 Influencer Awards, man. Thank you so much, Crypto Billy, for doing that. I was just reading the chat, and that came in on the chat. For the machine, LMD is up 28 since you went over it yesterday. Much love for your continued dedication for teaching us. Let's take a look at that. We went over a stock yesterday, LMND. I said it looked pretty nice to me. I said it looked pretty bullish. Let's see what's happening here on LMND. Lemonade. Wow, that thing skyrocketed. Crazy. We were looking for it to pump out this flag. I thought it would just consolidate a little bit more sideways before the pump, but wow, just straight out. That's crazy. Lemonade. Just ripping. I'd look at it on like the 15 minute. Wow, really far for the 21 stock market. It's funny how it can just gap out like that, right? Now you're doing one of two things. Like, can it flag out like this, or is it going to flag out like that? Either way, it's coming back to this 21-day moving average. That was your sell when you gap away from the 21. But thank you, man. I appreciate that. God bless you, brother. Let's take a look at gold all by itself again. I like what gold is doing, and I talked about gold on the weekly macro analysis video. So gold looks like it's consolidating and getting ready for its bigger move. $4,051 36 and 0.9%. No, but seriously, it looks like it's going up to $4,000 an ounce. Gold and Ethereum hanging out around the same prices. It's interesting, right? I see gold moving to $4,000 an ounce. Only a matter of time from now. Look at that beautiful bullish consolidation. It could roll over. You never know. But right now, with the dollar dropping, with what we're seeing here, the dollar is struggling. All right, it's getting worse. And if the dollar drops, the cost of things go up in value. So they're saying, I got you to 2% and all this nonsense, but the dollar loses value. It doesn't matter where they get the percentage of the inflation. The dollar keeps losing value. The prices of things have to go up. Understand? You know what I mean? If you have $10 in circulation and bread's 50 cents, and then you have $30 in circulation, then bread is like 15 cents, 18 cents. You know, like if you put more dollar, you know what I mean? Now, yeah, hold up. Yeah, no, bread will go, sorry, bread goes up. Bread will go to $1.50, my bad. So sorry. Bread will go to $1.50. You know, bread will absorb how many dollars are out there because bread is now worth more than of the dollars because you have more dollars in circulation. So sorry. 50 cents to $1.50. I just had a mind fart there. Please give me a break. But the point is, the more you print money, the more things have to cost. Because you've now devalued the amount. So if there's $10 in circulation and a shovel takes $1 to, you know, everyone agrees that a shovel is $1. And then you have $100 in circulation, right? A shovel becomes $10, right? Because you've devalued these $10. But the shovel never changed value. It still digs in the ground. It still gets what you need. It still can be used. The shovel holds exactly what it was, but the dollar did not. The dollar continues to get printed. So right now they're printing money, right? Agreed. They're adding more money into circulation. They've added more money in the last 2 years than they have in the whole entire time, right? In the next 5 years, they'll add more money than the entire time in history. You see, it's a bloody cut that gets bigger. It fills up more gauze. It gets bigger every time it bleeds. It just gets worse and worse. It doesn't stop. And every time they print more money, they got to print more money because, look, listen, now they need this many $1 trillion to do this and that, right? Well, next 5 years from now, they're going to sit down, they're going to have the debt ceiling, and Congress is going to come together, and they're going to have to do what? They're going to say, we need more money. Where are they going to get it? They're going to have to print it. Now the dollar's worth less than it was, so $1 trillion now is worth $2 trillion. So now if they need a $5 trillion bill 4 years ago, they're going to need a $10 trillion bill. You see what I'm saying? Now. And as that continues, the bills have to go up, the spending gets higher, the borrowing gets up, the printing exceeds. It is a never-ending cycle, can't you see? Some say, okay, well, we could raise the GDP. And if we can produce more, we can balance off the printing. You would say that, but that's just they print way too much for that to happen. In a likely story, that would be great. But I believe they've already printed us out of that scenario completely. So, and now, even if they didn't raise the debt ceiling, understand? Even if they didn't raise the debt ceiling, they print this money to the point of no return. So, they print the money on the VIG they owe to the Federal Reserve, man. The Federal Reserve, there's nothing federal about it, and it has no reserves. It's so crazy. We live in a puppet world, man. You know what I'm saying? Where nothing is truly real. Yeah. Shout out to the super chats. Thank you for the people that are willing to give today, no matter what. Thank you so much to Crypto Billy and Biscuits. Crypto Billy, you're the best, man. And thank you for telling people, giving, you know, a $9 super chat to, you know, motivate people to vote. And look at Crypto Billy. He's the #1 fan today on my channel. #1. Number 50 is J. Rue. We got Crypto Shills, Dustin Prince, Bufflink, my man Bufflink, Holy Grail, Lucas Estranglos, Bright Idea Trades, my man, Stephanie Gameros, Gensler coming for crypto. I love that. Michael Chapman, Crypto FTW 1000X, Benson Hedges, GM, DM5, DK. I can't say everybody, but as much as, Aris Fox, Ali Bull, all you, Mr. Butters Trading, Mad B, my man, my team, Reliable J. Look at this, the top. These guys are always here. These four right here, man. Bitman, Rave Song Records in the house, coming in at number 7, always holding me down. Cherry City Bullies, always there. Bellico X, Kyle Bullington, Genesis. God bless you all. Thank you so much for the love. So the DXY, we want to see it go sideways and dump. If this thing gets above 100 and then goes to 101, no. We want to see that thing continue to dump. So things look okay for Bitcoin and alts, but I don't know, man. It's definitely back and forth here. So look, we got to look at the 30-second chart. And this is how it starts. This is how you could get, I've traded the 30-second before. But it's not my cup of tea right now, but I've traded it. And, tomorrow, no problems with the stream. I'm telling you, man. I'm going to double check the stream, triple check it. I have no idea what happened today, man. We had no camera. Everything was going all crazy. But we fixed it. We got it going. We got it done. We got it in. Actually, one thing I do want to do right now, which I just realized, is configure that video and bring down that exposure a bit. Not too bright. Right there is nice. I like my blacks crushed a little bit. Like, that's too hot. You know what I mean? Like, right. I'm a little high. -6. Yeah, right there. I like that. That makes sense. I was a camera guy, man. My exposure's got to be right. So, look, that's a beautiful ascending triangle on the 30-second chart. That looks beautiful. I have to be honest. That looks like it's going to bump. We may have found our daily bottom yet again here. Look at that. Triple bottomed off 112,007. They've made this so hard. If you're trying to long this thing back to 120, they're making it tough. And now we kind of have the shoulder, kind of a rounded head and shoulder that could break us out. A bit of an Adam and Eve double bottom there. Kind of was a backwards Adam and Eve with your rounded self with the sharp move there, and then you got out. Let's go, Bitcoin. Show us that you could make it out of this ascending triangle and see how we slowed down. At first, there was no market structure. It was a mess. We had no idea what was going to happen. It didn't look right. But we slowed it down. We got ourselves situated, and we started to kind of use our subconscious mind that has found many bottoms for us in the past. So we just had to give ourselves time. See, a lot of times my mind's not figuring out because I'm in my prefrontal cortex. That's not the part of my brain that figures it out. So, of course, I'm going to be confused. I got to let my subconscious mind begin to work. When my subconscious mind works, it's going to gravitate to what it knows. It's going to go through that data storage center that it has. It's going to start to compartmentalize, and it's going to help me through the trade. Very simple. And I'm not going to use emotions in my I'm not going to use my regular decision making. That's not for this. My subconscious mind is for trading. See, you only get your subconscious mind by doing it over and over and over again. This is how I educate you to change your brain. It's neuroplasticity. You're not going to be like this at first. When you start to trade, it's going to be very confusing. It's going to take almost 2 years for your brain's chemistry to change. Once you do that, you're going to notice changes in the way you think about everything. You're going to go and write things down when you go to you're going to be more prepared whenever you do anything. Go to the store, get anything done. I think you'll be more apt to start new tasks, go after things you never thought possible. Trading will open you up. Really make you amazing. Ascending triangles are sketchy. They're not guaranteed to pump. I'm not saying let's trade this right now. It's the 30-second chart. I just like to look. I did not open a trade. I want to make this clear. And I would not trade the 30-second. But if we're going to recover, like, this is it. Like, we're going to have to do something here. Already looking sketchy on the bottom trend line there. I mean, that's a head and shoulder now. You see it? See how quickly things change? And that's out of the 30-second. Like, and now you know, like, no. Like, see, if the small time frames can't make it happen. See, the small time frames are just, you're not waiting for real comfort. In the small time frames, you're waiting for real things. You don't have to call the small time frame. Once all this happens, then you can trade this type of stuff on the 1 minute. You're in front of the 1 minute. You're front running the 1 minute right now. You understand? You're basically gathering data. Now, look, this looks more like a bear flag. And what I'm attempting to do is find your daily bottom. I don't know if I can. Some days I can't. Some days it doesn't happen. Who knows? Nothing is guaranteed in this trading world. And see, that's what people don't, or they want it to be perfect. They want me to tell them exactly what to do and give them all the answers. If I don't, they want to throw the tomatoes at me, right? It's all my fault if you lose. Nobody wants to take responsibility for themselves. Understand? The second you start taking responsibility for yourself, you begin to win. You realize that the winners were never people who are winning all the time. See, when you're losing, you think winners are winning all the time. You think they're perfect. You think everything they do is awesome. That's just not the case. Winners are people that are losing just as much as you, but they're just not crying about it. And they're finding ways to continue. They're finding ways to win anyway, no matter, even though when they hit a loss. See? So look, this is showing us kind of what's going to happen today and how nasty this could be. So now I can look at everything again, and I mean, that's, again, another bear flag on the 1 minute time frame. That has a nasty drop. We're talking 111, 400. And it's looking like that's going to come today. So, again, I would long if we got back, if the 30-second and the 5-second started to keep, if that flag pumped, we got to the 200 on the 30, which looked like we could. Everything was kind of going that way. But no, we slumped down. You can see a lot of stop hunting too, even on these smaller time frames. There's people trading that 30-second that got flushed right now. Now, where are we moving on that 1 minute? 1 minute, yeah, has breached the trend line now. I mean, to me, that's just, ugh. That says you're going for the double bottom now for sure. So look for price action to come test 112.750 yet again. So now your hope for a possible daily bottom is this here. Something like this. Man, wow, right? So fighting the price action here and slump. So the shorts were in control. Ever since the stream started, we came into the short. We fought up on the reversal on the smallest time frames possible, which really you'd have to be like a super micro analyst to figure out. And we were there. Some people don't even know how to access these 5-second to 30-second charts. You'd actually have to have premium. I have the 1 second chart. You'd have to have premium. Like, I could see price action every second coming in, right? And you also want to pay for, fast action, ARCA. Like, if you're going to do that on the NASDAQ, which I can, and the S&P, I pay for another set of fast information. It's another like $12 a month for ARCA and stuff like that. So, still could possibly be a higher low right now, hanging in there. But, man, it's brutal, right? And if anything, I mean, yeah, look, that's a shoulder ahead or right shoulder again. You can just see how it's amazing. Shoulder, head, right shoulder there. Cat ears. Cat ears right there. And there she blows. So I'm looking for 111,005. That's where Bitcoin's likely going. That's its next stop. Whether you believe me or not, that's its next stop, BTC. Shout out to everybody here that's trading with the lifer. No matter what, we hear every single day, baby. Hanging out, having a blast, doing damage. And some days, hey, no trade at all. Some days there's no trade at all. Right? You're basically praying for some type of double bottom if you're a bull here and a bounce off 112.8. Some type of cup and handle. Fibonacci retracement. You pull the fib, that is a 786 right there. Can we hold it? That's money printer status right there. It's just so sketchy. So you got to listen to the charts. You can't listen to crypto Twitter. Okay? One step at a time. A lot of people have no idea what's going to happen. I'm the only guy that's going to admit it. I have no clue where Bitcoin's going. I don't. I know nothing but the fact about ignorance. And why do people come here? Why is your channel growing? Why are you going to 100,000 subs? Because I show up every day. That's all. People love consistency, everyone. I keep telling everybody that. And being the most consistent person in the space will get you respect, love, and honor. People say, hey, man, that guy, he shows up no matter what. On the lowest of the lows, on the biggest dumps, he's there. On the biggest pumps, he's there no matter what. Rain, sleet, sun, snow. Someone yesterday said, I'm moving studio. No show today. I never did that. I went into like a different part of my house and created a fake studio quickly and just at least did the stream. There's always a time to do your stream. Never be dead. I see these YouTubers, they take a day off. Why? It's the love of your life. It's your baby. What are you taking a day off for your dreams for? I'm talking to you out there for whatever your excuse was to stop streaming. If it's one day, I don't care. And I know everyone was like, Sam, we're not all like you. We need a moment. I get it. And sometimes, I am going to fly to Singapore. It's going to be tough somewhere at the beginning of October. I don't know how I'm going to pull it off. But, we're going to look at the logistics. We're going to find a way. I don't care if it's Starlink, whatever we got to do, but there's got to be a way that I can keep my stream streak going on and still fly to Singapore and make it happen. So, God bless the lifers. We thank you. We appreciate you. And we care all about you guys. We want to see everybody here win. You know, the community is not strong unless everybody makes it out alive here together. So and honestly, summer trading is very tough and very difficult. The movements are faster, the volume is less. You can get hit off more. It's definitely a sketchier time to trade. You got to have a little more of your wits about you. Look at this, 2 beautiful days and slumped down by today, a nasty, nasty red day. So here we go. Can we hug a higher low? 118, 112, 871 here. Can we get some type of cup with a handle? Can this be a shoulder, a head, and some right shoulder? Like, do we bounce? As I told you, like I can show you what to do when it's time to do it. Right now, I'm sitting on my hands. There's no trade right now. Okay. Let's take a look at the questions. Any crazy questions here? Ask me some questions in the chat. Let's get me going. Pick my brain. Let me find out what you're doing. All right. Wow, if I could only read all that, I wish I could, right? Insane. Yeah. The following NASDAQ SB again. Hopefully those bottom. Yeah. By showing up every day, you've inspired so many people, Sammy. You've created a group of the highest frequency people. God bless the lifers. Mr. Butters, I love you, man. Man, my Altcoin been on since 10 cents. Look at that thing rip still. You've been on it since 10 cents? Damn, I'm jealous. Why'd you? Dang. I'm not jealous, but dang. Wish I got in on there. Do you ever get a chance to look into refund? Your soul, RYS. Oh, yeah, we'll look at it. It's been a while, though. We did look at it, though. Yeah, my baby is now 7 months old. Alejandro's brothers are on top, man. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Antoine Alejandre and Carlos Alejandres. Yeah, Alejandro, yeah. Sending the super chat for TA, your deep dive on the token. Thank you, Crypto Life Changer, man. It's been a while. God bless you, brother. Haven't seen you in a long time. Or maybe I have. I don't remember seeing that name in a long time. Butters equals good people, my man. Was there bad news? What's the dump? Everyone always says, what's the dump? Was there bad news? Tariff news came in, scared the market, got people iffy, and then Bitcoin just got flushed. Bouncing possibly off 112.7 here. A high right there at 112.888. This could be the cup and handle with the higher low. We're attempting to dig in here, but it's just not looking great. 15-minute, I mean, everything lost the 200 moving average too. So to get back at all, you need to get back to the 200 moving average. Another thing I want to show you is how you move through the 200 moving averages. You'll first lose the 1 hour. You'll go to the 2 hour, 200 moving average, right? You've lost that. Then you'll lose the 3 hour. Then you'll lose the 4 hour, which we had a bounce there. Look, now we're below the 4 hour 200. This is when things start to change. Like, I'm telling you, I'm seeing a change in guard. So the first thing happens is you get a huge pump. Then the weekly starts putting in a bearish div. Then you make lower lows. Then the daily collapses, like we saw that daily collapse. Then you go back below the 4 hour 200 moving average. We are not bullish until the 4 hour gets back above the 200. Now you're going to go to the 6 hour 200. If you lose that, you're going to go to the 8 hour 200 moving average. If you lose that, you're going to the 12. You lose that, you go to the daily. And if you lose the daily 200 moving average, that's when things start to really, really begin to struggle. I just see something out of the corner of my eye. I see this kind of as a shoulder. This is a head. That is a right shoulder. I see this is a neckline. Maybe I'm wrong, and I would love to be, but I'm seeing some nasty bearishness here. Like, I don't know if I'm uncovering something that no one else in the whole market wants to talk about, or if this is possible, but this just doesn't look amazing. And Bitcoin just made a lower high. Like, things were different yesterday. Like, we were on our way up. Another green candle. It was going to make a right shoulder. And I had faith that this could make a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. So that was okay. But today has changed everything. Like, that has changed market structure now. That's a lower low now. And now I even got a trend line forming like this. And so now I got trend, and the trend says you go lower, right? So, wow. Not a great sign. 119,957, right? And I got to tell you, man, that doesn't look good to me. Like, My subconscious mind is saying that market structure is broken. Like, you just made a lower high on the daily. That means you make a lower low. So how do you know go to 110 in my humble opinion? Unless this wicks up and something crazy happens today, I don't see it. And then this looks like it's making a bear flag again to go lower. Like, it doesn't, not trying to stop the pain here. 5 minute back to the 21. That's a bear flag. I say that's a dump. I say you could short this. I'm finally going to say you could short that with the stop on the other side of the 21. And short it down to 110.9. So, like, I say I see a short now. That's the most likely scenario is this dumps. Stop on the other side of 113.5. And you get out somewhere at 110.9. Yeah, I'm getting pretty bearish. My market structure is telling me that I have to be bearish, just like I have to be bullish. You know, days when I'm pumping, I'm calling a pump to the upside. I have to be, right, because the market's telling me that it's looking good. So we trade bullish. Right now, the market's doing the exact same signal it gives me when I'm bullish, upside down. So we have to be bearish. No, if we trade this bullish every time, then how could this not be bearish? This says more pain is coming for Bitcoin, more downside for BTC. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it just, yeah, for sure. 112,658. I mean, I see dumpage coming right now as we speak. I don't see anyone stopping the pain. I looked at the smaller time frames. We know how they reverse. They did not reverse. I see no daily bottom yet. I really don't. I'm calling 110.9, 111,000 for Bitcoin. And you can see BOOKMAP has it sitting pretty right there waiting for us too. Right there at about 110,700. So it's sitting there. I don't know why. You know, it is what it is. BTC, man. And a resistance just was made at 113,250. So yeah, slumpy day for the Bitcoin alt market and for the Bitcoin market too as well. And we had some things that looked interesting, like XRP looked like it was going to pump. Show me the love. It looked good. XRP here on MACD, it was in a beautiful bull flag on the 4-hour time frame. Looked like it was breaking out. It's now retesting the top of this trend line, so there's still some hope it could bounce. If Bitcoin could bounce, but man, it hit a major resistance at 308, and then that was about it. So this trade's kind of flat now. It was looking like it could do some damage to the upside. XRP was looking nice. 4-hour look had legs to rip, and they reset on the Stokes and barely gave you anything. So crazy. So yeah, I'd be cautious on all my alt setups right now based on Bitcoin. I put out alt setups, but you've got to watch Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's not going to play ball, your altcoin setup isn't going to pump. It's unlikely going to make some gains. You got to understand this. So we look at Bitcoin every single day, no matter what, painstakingly. Like, it's almost like day in and day out. These 1,700 days, man, it's been insane. I still don't understand how I've done it, but I'm still here now. See, every time you look back at the past, it doesn't matter, right? You can do 1,000 days, but today's the day now. Now you got to perform today. Today's the day. So it doesn't matter how many days you've done it. You got to do it again. Like tomorrow, the next day, it never ends. You get complacent with 100K. Next thing you know, you're back behind. You know what I mean? You're not where you wanted to be. It just, so I moved that. But that's in the money slightly already from 112,950. $200 on the move there. Now they're toying with us with a possible double bottom, right? You see? That's why I don't have a short or a long open. I only take my model above the 200. I'm not trading anything else. It's a double bottom, though. Measured move takes you back up to 114.5, 114.2. I'm more bearish. I'm thinking we're going to dump. But what I think matters not. Not a lot of liquidity down there either on BOOKMAP, so once we get there, it's kind of dry bones. It does look like we want to go back to 116. If anything, kind of liquidate some of those shorts. And the market's tight today. A lot of people are take August off and go places. They say they're going to do something in June, say something in July. They finally say, you know what? I'm going to take that trip in August, and they take it. So August definitely has an effect on the market because less people are out there. Back to school in 2 weeks, too. Literally, actually, I think about 10. Back to school, I think on the 12th in September. So, yeah, in 1 week, they're back to school next. Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday, they're back to school for me. So I'll be driving my daughter to school a week from now, like back in, it's kind of like, and things will be like that for 9 months till we get back out of school again. It's just kind of crazy. Double bottom for Bitcoin. The daily bottom is tested again at 112.2, 112.7, and it looks like it may hold. Testing that daily bottom. Look, they're trying to put like basically almost a diamond in there too. Whipsaw diamond. Any strong bullish divvy? Right there, it does swing up. A little flat. That does swing up while that swings down. That's some strong bullish divergence there on the stochastic. What happened there? I put the MACD in there somehow. It's like, what? MACD wants to turn. Everything looks interesting. Could get a little bit of a bounce. Wow, crazy price action. So we basically been in chop on a range from 112.6 up to 113.2 ever since the kind of show began, ever since about 10:30, 10:44. We've been up and down in the same range. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, up and down. But it's more bearish now than bullish, right? That just looks like you're going to continue to slump down. So the bear flag dumped, bearishly retested, got into another flag, and I see the target at 111,970 for Bitcoin. So the longs have been trapped now for days. If you got on a long, you got trapped days ago, and you're still even the bots in a trap long. So it's been a tough summer. It always has been, and never will be easy. Right? A lot of people tune out on the summer because it's that tough. But I found a lot of opportunity too. So, and you know what? Every time Bitcoin takes a big dip, I'm going to eat up a little bit more of Satoshi. And when everyone's not paying attention, I'll have more Satoshis than everybody else or people that weren't paying attention. So, to the consistent people go the spoils, man. Everyone wants a big channel. Everyone wants a YouTube following, but nobody wants to put in the work for it. They don't want to dedicate their life every single day, but then they, so you get to be the cool YouTuber if you put in the work. But the second you get too into being a cool YouTuber and not doing the work, then you're not a cool YouTuber anymore. You're the guy that used to be a cool YouTuber who used to work. So like, it's almost interesting. You can enjoy being the cool YouTuber only for so long and remind yourself that it's all about the work. Like when I travel and I go places and I'm out to dinners and I'm meeting people and some people take pictures and stuff and it's all fun, right? What if I was like, next night I'm going out, 5 nights, straight nights, and I forget to do my updates, I forget to do, next thing you know, like, it's over. You know what I mean? My discipline creates the aura of who I am. If I lose my discipline, I lose the aura, it's a wrap. It's so crazy to me. So, like, as fun as it is to live that life, and hey, look at me, from around the world and all that, it all comes from the constant work ethic. So you can't let that fun, extravagant lifestyle get in the way and distract you from the discipline, because that's the whole reason that got you there in the first place, right? So discipline is the key, man. And I've learned this stuff the hard way. Like there's days I'm like, man, I want this to never end, but I also got to keep the discipline. So, and there's that balance. And hard work. You get addicted to hard work. It never ends. That's like a diamond, but it's looked like a shady diamond. I mean, I say we go lower, everyone. We're about to dump hard. 111.8. It looks like we're going to dump so hard to 111.8 right now. And people are going to go, it's going to be a fast dump. I mean, they just double bottom. They're trying to, this doesn't look like it's going to hold too well. That's a rollover. I see 111.800 coming. The target 110.9 too. Hey, you heard it here first. We attempt to call the market correctly every single day based off what the channels are showing us. I mean, look at this. It's a head and shoulder pattern. We started this day with head and shoulders everywhere. There's a shoulder. There's a head. There's a right shoulder. That is a neckline. Right, somewhere like right down to here somewhere. 112. I'd be surprised if we don't dump here and they try to dig into a double bottom. Come on, baby. I'd love it if we did. Don't get me wrong. I'm long Bitcoin, long term. I love Bitcoin. I keep buying more Bitcoin. I don't want to see a dump. But I just tell you what I see is facts, right? And right now, the bears are in control. The bulls will get some control back if we get above 113,260. And that's some, even not all of it. We got to get back above 114.5, 115.5. So this morning, this turned into a dump city. People will blame tariffs, they'll blame whatever. And now we're attempting to bounce. So let's take a look. Everyone's saying the S&P bouncing too. Same story, bounced and then came back down. So fake kind of moves. Same with Bitcoin, playing games. See your 5 minutes attempting to double bottom here too as well. You see it? That's a double bottom. We finally got some bullish divergence. We got some right here that got us, but we got it again right there on the green R here. Now that's good, but it's only going to help us out if we can get back above 113.66. We can't get back above that area. It doesn't really matter how much divergence you send us. You know what I mean? We're going to need that divergence to propel us further to the upside. See if there's any coins out here that catch my eye. Layer Zero, they keep loving for whatever reason. ENA, 58 cents. It's stronger than it could be than other coins, you know, after that pump. Spark, up 58% in 7 days, still at 12 cents. That thing went up huge. Sahara AI, up 10% in 7 days. IO.net, still on that radar. World Avalanche. Billions Network, never heard of it. Towns, never heard of it. May want to write that down. Zora was hot. Does that pullback help you kind of, swing it? Treehouse is a new coin. Sui, BitLayer on the radar. Unique. So Unique, BitLayer, Towns, Interlink Labs. These are new projects. Billion Network. All right. That IKA XD Wallet Network too. So there's some things we really want to pay attention to. I'll also look at token metrics today and be spewing them out. Also, this Thursday, we do the weekly screen share back at the regular scheduled time, 9 o'clock. So I moved, or somewhat 8:30 to 9, something like that, Thursday night. So get ready for that. I'm excited. We're back to our regular schedule. I'm back home to Florida. It's been 2 months. I fly out tomorrow. It's been such a trip. I love you all for holding me down this entire time. It hasn't been easy. We did it anyway. We hold it. It's been, we do it anyway. It's great. What a blessing. Who's in the chat? Let me see right now. Who's in that chat over here? False move August. I know, right? Think silver will double before Bitcoin. It's possible. And that's why I'm buying silver on Kinesis.money. Go to Kinesis.money. All right. If I can sign in here. Do I have it? Yeah. You go to Kinesis.money and this is an idea that I got going on right now. We're all stacking, attempting to change our lives. We will change our lives, but we're stacking, we're doing our thing. And there's a way that we can use our silver and gold to our advantage. Say you never bought Bitcoin, but you're sitting on 20 grand worth of gold and silver. So my idea is this. And again, you do whatever makes you happy. I'm not a financial advisor. This is my idea though. Okay. You go over to Kinesis.money where they say you can ship your gold to them. And then they'll count your gold bars and they'll give you KAU tokens for that. Bang. There'll be a sheet that comes in when they deliver it's all done correctly, right? Once you got that, you're going to be locked in, okay? And once you're locked in, let me explain how that works. You're going to be able to use this token and you can get yield, you can get metal back, okay? You can even earn. And so as the earn comes in, it may not be huge, but it's better than nothing, 3%, 2%, whatever it is. You can then exchange that earn for the Velocity token, which you could use their KVD token, or for Bitcoin. The point is, maybe 5 years from now, there's a high likelihood you have Bitcoin in this account on top of the gold, and you got it through the gold. So you could have your gold sitting in a safe right now, collecting dust or some vault, or you could actually digitize it, turn it into a token, and use it to your advantage at Kinesis.money. This is the future of gold and silver. They're finally tokenized the way they should have been years ago. This is basically RWA, real world. This is tokenized assets right here at its base, and this is a real use case. So I'm working with Kinesis. They do sponsor the channel. I love them, and I've been building up my silver stack right here. I got $1,400, and every couple of weeks, I'm going to be buying more silver, getting it going. So they show you what you got. You can buy and sell instantly, too. You can go from the gold token, from the silver token, KAG to KAU, Bitcoin. They got XDC, Hedera, Hashgraph, Lido, Immutable X. Look at all the coins they got. Sonic. So you can go back and forth between crypto and precious metals, which is just insane. Nobody has it like this. Nobody has it going on. So check it out at Kinesis.money. And thank you so much for the sponsorship. I really appreciate anyone that believes in my business and my channel. That's awesome. Bitcoin attempting to double bottom here. Now, in my mind, looking more like a descending triangle that wants to take you further to the downside. I mean, this just looks dumpy to me. I'm calling a dump. I'd rather be wrong because the probabilities are more right that I'll be right. This looks like it's going to go down. 112, 156, 111.7, and then all the way to 110.9. So big pullbacks for Bitcoin on the horizon. Everyone's going to wonder what's stressing weekly bearish divs. I mean, come on. We hit that top 1823. Man, so I see more downside for Bitcoin. I see a move down to 112, 123. Yeah, I just see more dumpage for sure for BTC. So my call is, it's attempting a double bottom though. So I'm also going to tell you, I have no clue. I have no idea what they're going to do to it today, man. If my signal, that looks like it could be a beautiful double bottom. So the bulls are in control. Show me. Now, if you got above here, bounce, then I might flag. I would trade the flag up, and I would trade the flag through this gap back to 114, see? Because that would tell me I have a chance to win that's not fighting the trend, at least a micro trend. So I'll leave you this idea here that Bitcoin's in somewhat of a bit of a double bottom here, all right? And it could go either way. And right now, it's more likely it's going to dump to the downside to 112, 130. In my humble opinion. So I see a dump coming for Bitcoin. I do, even though I see it as a double. I see it more. I know the bears are more in control based off years of doing this. So the probability is that I will be more correct calling a move down than a move up. Right? No guarantees, but those are the probabilities. And we got some kind of cool news for you today too. Coinbase may become the first S&P 500 company to buy Bitcoin with $2 billion in private note funds. Coinbase is preparing to raise $2 billion through private convertible note offering, potentially to buy Bitcoin. If confirmed, this would make Coinbase the first company in the S&P 500 to purchase Bitcoin using funds from a debt offering. Even though Coinbase saw a drop in revenue during the second quarter, the U.S.-based crypto exchange, which is listed on the NASDAQ, is now turning to the capital markets to raise funds. So it plans to raise $2 billion through a specific type of debt called convertible senior notes. These notes are being offered only to big institutional investors. The offering includes $1 billion in notes that mature in 2029 and another $1 billion that will mature in 2032. Wow, look at that. Pretty big deal, right? Litecoin hits a 5-month high amid ETF optimism and 100 million MEI pharma treasury. Analysts told Decrypt though, that ETF approvals rumors are adding to optimism. It's pretty interesting, right? Litecoin. We'll take a look at Litecoin on the chart right now. Yesterday, it seemed to be having a bit of a pump, Litecoin, right? It did. I mean, it was going. 105 all the way to 128. I mean, Litecoin was mooning this weekend. That's crazy, right? Since September 3rd, since August 3rd. Litecoin's on a tear. And there was the signal, too. The daily is above the 200 in the flag, right? I mean, look at that. That's Sammy's signal right there. And it's a cup and handy. So it's a cup and handle, 21-day moving average touching price above the 200 moving average. Says it ain't done yet either, but it depends on where Bitcoin's going, right? But this says it ain't done. It wants to continue to the upside. So here's the deal. Is Bitcoin going to defy this, and boom out the double bottom here? That's chop. Look at that. That's the 1 minute time frame. For the last 20 minutes straight, you've been going, like, come on. They're playing games with our hearts, games with our minds, and games with the market. SCI and CFTC, time is now for you to lead the global race for crypto, says the CCI chief. With the White House latest digital assets report, CCI chief Jim G. Kim says the U.S. is finally stepping up to claim its place at the front of the global race. It's awesome, man. It's about time. AI agent bot Clanker racks up $34 million in swap fees launching base meme coins. Isn't that crazy? Just makes itself $34 million out of nowhere, putting out coins. Trump's executive order to penalize banks for political or religious bias. The White House has reportedly been drafting an executive order that would prohibit banks from cutting ties with customers based on political or religious beliefs. As concerns about ideological bias in the financial system has gained traction, something happened to me. I think they did that to me in some way, shape, or form, and it wasn't right. So I appreciate that. SharpLink now holds almost $2 billion in Ether after $264 million buy. SharpLink marches ahead with its Ether strategy, bagging $264 million more of ETH, raising its total to staked ETH holdings to 521,939 Ethereum. Pretty nice, right? So stack. Spot Ether ETFs record outflows, though, as well today. So market's been up and down. There's been a lot of crazy price action. Whoa, we got a bounce. There you go. We got ourselves a bounce. And again, it's back to the same story. Can you get above the 200 moving average on the 5 second? Then stay above it here. Now, we were about to bump to the 200 there. It's like I knew we were going to hit it. Very close to it now. Once we cross that, it's now can the 1 minute get to the 200 moving average. This looks like we're going to double bottom. Looks like you bottomed on the day. This could be the daily reversal here. So look, I'm going to do something kind of funny here. We're going to the 1 minute. I mean, that's a double bottom, isn't it? It's supposed to be. Should be able to long this. 68% chance you can long this with no thought process at all. Just complete math, right? 114, 121. And the stop should be at like 112, 581. Should be able to win this trade 90% of the time, or at least 7 out of 10 times. I don't like the descending triangle, though. I saw it earlier, too. To me, it looks baggish. I don't know, man. I can't place it. Look at that thing. It looks so whack. Besides taking a tiny trade, I don't see any, that looks like it's going to dump, man. Yeah, now I see it as a head and shoulder pattern. You see this? I see it for what it is now. But then I can also see it as a double bottom. You know what it is? It's what does your mind do? And my mind's going to call the long. I'm going to be a legend and long this double bottom, man. Like you've never seen. But it's I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated in the trading group, but who knows? It's sketchy. I got to say it's more likely going to dump because you can't get above the previous highs, so that means the bears are in control. But it also dug in a crazy double bottom. So you tell me, you got to take yourself with the information you got too. So I went 100 for 6. We'll see what happens here. I'm likely to get stopped out and we'll go from there, and then it'll probably continue to dump. But we'll see. We've been winning most of these bit-to-next trades, so we have a little more to give here. So I did call along here on this double bottom. Let's see if we can get the bounce on that higher low. Barely hanging on by a thread here for Bitcoin. And if that kind of brings that show down to an amazing end, right? Bitcoin's 100 cold. It's not retail. It's liquidity shortage. Bitcoin's 100K whole explained. So he's saying that exchange net flows tell the real story. Only 2 days recorded net inflows. On every other day, coins left exchanges faster than they arrived. So Bitcoin's available liquidity in the spot market has declined gradually, creating a supply shortage and in turn fueling growth. Supporting this thesis, data from BitBo shows Bitcoin stock-to-flow ratio surged 3.69.4K Bitcoin. In fact, the stock-to-flow model predicts a theoretical Bitcoin price of 3.2 million. Typically, a tightening supply against steady or rising demand pushes prices higher. Whales are in full accumulation mode. In the previous cycles, Bitcoin rallied back by speculative and retail demand. Now, market power dynamics have shifted, and large entities are the driving force. According to Check On Chain, Bitcoin whales have exhibited maximum restraint in selling. As such, whale-to-exchange balance change has mainly remained negative for the past 3 months. At press time, whales exchange balance was negative 73K Bitcoin, while mega whales balance was negative 19. A negative balance for a sustained period signals that whales have refused to sell despite record-breaking profits. Significantly, another key factor driving Bitcoin's liquidity decline is institutional demand for Bitcoin through spot ETFs. Interestingly, the decline in liquidity coincides with the approval of Bitcoin spot ETFs in early 2024. Since then, Bitcoin held by ETFs has exceeded 1.3 million Bitcoin, with over $149 billion. According to AMB's crypto analysis, Bitcoin experienced sustainable growth amid significant demand from whales and institutions. As a result, Bitcoin scarcity has surged significantly, reaching a new high, which is a key driver for sustained upward momentum. That said, if prevailing demand across major players persists, Bitcoin will recover from the recent correction and continue with the uptrend. A trend reversal may see Bitcoin reclaim 117K resistance, where it faced multiple rejections, and target a new all-time high. Today is huge. Like, if we bounce on this double bottom, right, and we don't fall down here to 112, 110, then there's a more likelihood we regain that 117. So I made a long here. I'm up $17, $20, 2%. I'm almost up 3%. Let's see what happens. All right. I longed Bitcoin on this double bottom after the entire show, and here we are at 12:01. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. We've been through so many calls on this channel. How many short squeezes have we been through? How many times have we done it? Oh, yeah, that's gone now. It's funny. It's weird to see, though, like, why did it disappear? You know, randomly it just decides, you never know. It happens. So I grab camera, I copy, you go over here and you hit paste. You can copy paste. It's the whole screen now, no more, I'll be back on green screen Thursdays, so you'll see me on green screen Thursday morning show. All right. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, I teach class the last Saturday of every month. If this doesn't make sense to you and you want more information, hit the QR code at the bottom left screen that was here throughout the show. Let me show you here. And you can jump on into class right here. That's me. I teach class. All right. Find that and get yourself educated. Anything else I can do, let me know. I love you all. Thank you so much. There's a chance I called the daily bottom today on this double bottom, and we pump up to the 200 moving average on this 1 minute, and we get some gains. So I'd like to make it happen, baby. Let's see. Hey, scared money don't make no money. Let's see if I called the bottom today for Bitcoin. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.